Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's shaped millions of lives and continues to inspire people around the world: the story of Jesus. Whether you're familiar with the story or just curious, we're going to break it down into manageable chunks so you can see why this narrative is so significant. Now, to truly appreciate who Jesus was, we need to set the stage a bit. So picture this: it's the first century in Judea, a place buzzing with Jewish traditions and expectations. People are eagerly awaiting a Messiah, someone who would lead them to freedom from Roman rule and deliver justice. To make matters interesting, you've got Roman authorities, like King Herod, keeping close tabs on the area, adding layers of political tension to this already dynamic environment. It's against this backdrop that our story begins. So, what's the first big event? Jesus' birth, of course. According to the story, it all kicks off with an angelic announcement to Mary, a young girl, telling her she'll give birth to the Son of God. Can you imagine that moment? Fast forward to the nativity scene, with the Magi bringing gifts and shepherds rushing to see the newborn baby. It's sweet, isn't it? After that, the family settles in Nazareth, and we don't hear much about him until he's 12 years old, when he stuns everyone by teaching in the temple. Then comes the moment Jesus begins his public ministry. He gets baptized by John the Baptist, this significant guy in the area. And right after that, he goes off into the desert, where, let me tell you, temptation gets thrown at him. But he stands strong. Soon after, he starts gathering his first disciples, those who would travel with him and learn from him. As he wanders around, he performs his first miracle at a wedding by turning water into wine. Talk about a party trick. The buzz really starts around town as he goes about healing the sick and performing other miracles. Now let's chat about what Jesus actually taught. One of the most famous moments is the Sermon on the Mount. Here, he lays out some beatitudes, blessings for those who are marginalized and struggling. It's all about love, forgiveness, and humility, messages that resonate even today. And let's not forget the parables. These short stories, like the Good Samaritan and the Prodigal Son, hit home with relatable lessons. It's all about showing kindness, understanding, and the importance of community. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, folks. Jesus faced serious pushback, especially from the Pharisees and Sadducees. These religious leaders were not thrilled with him challenging their authority, and the authorities of the Roman Empire were also starting to see him as a threat. His growing popularity didn't sit well with them, which leads to some pretty intense confrontations. As we approach the climax, we get to Jesus' final days. At the Last Supper, he shares a special meal with his disciples, imparting some heavy teachings. But then you have Judas, one of his closest friends, betraying him. That betrayal leads to Jesus being arrested and put on trial by both Jewish and Roman officials. Imagine the tension and the heartache in that moment. All the hopes tied to this man suddenly hanging by a thread. Now we reach the most heart-wrenching part: Jesus' crucifixion. The story details his suffering and ultimately his death. For many, this moment is heavy, as it symbolizes the sacrifice made for humanity's redemption. But the drama doesn't end there. According to the story, 3 days later, he rises from the dead. This resurrection isn't just a plot twist. It represents hope, renewal, and the promise of eternal life for believers. So what's the takeaway? The story of Jesus is one of love, sacrifice, and profound impact on history. It invites us to reflect on his teachings and how they can change our lives today. If you found this chat insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video for more stories that explore faith, history, and our shared humanity. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.